So, we have an interesting question over here today. The Gemara discusses if a person has two ways of going about something, and he chooses a way which is more prone to risk. For instance, if a person is going on a route, and one of the routes there are women that are bathing there, and it's hard not to see. So the Gemara says even if he doesn't end up looking at anything improper, he's considered a Rasha if there's a Darka Achrita, if there's another way. So I was learning a Taisus in Avodah Zarah, and Taisus over there says Darka Achrita, what the Gemara discusses in that context, is only if the two ways are equally difficult. It means they're both the same thing. But if one is more difficult, that's not considered that there's a Darka Achrita. So I was thinking, it must be that, it's not must be, it could be that by this thing where the Gemara says that even if you don't end up looking, if you went and there was another way to go, that you're considered a Rasha, that's also only if they're both equally difficult. But let's say one is more difficult, another 5 minutes, then you're not considered a Rasha if you go that way. And if you end up not looking, could be that you're considered a tzaddik. You went on the shorter way, which had a challenge, and you didn't look, so you're considered a tzaddik. So now, the question is, when the Gemara says when there is an equally difficult way and you go, then you're considered a Rasha. So I always understood it, and that's probably the way most people understand it, is that the fact that you entered into a situation from an Isayan makes that you are a Rasha. But it could be that it's not true. I'm thinking that perhaps the fact that the person went in a scenario where there was a possibility for him to see, that's a certain kreva la'arayis. That is a certain situation where that itself, the kirva to the arayis, is considered a problem. Why did he go that way? They shouldn't have gone that way. Must be if he's going that way, he wants to have that kirva to arayis. There is a problem with that. Whereas, if there's no difficult, there's a little bit more difficult way, and he goes that way, so he entered into an Isayan. But there's nothing wrong with entering into an Isayan if you know that you're going to win. So that might be in all Nisyanis. It's only if they're both equally, and therefore he went there, that's why he's considered a Rasha. That's a little bit of a chiddush that I came up with this morning.